Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now in this one, I'm going to help you guys kind of like facilitate your way on memorizing the conversions and the system that I use to memorize them. Now it all depends how much time you have available to memorize everything. If you're watching this video and your test is tomorrow, then this is probably not going to help you. But at least from the nursing school that I'm going into, which is Imperial Valley College, they expect you to memorize the conversions, everything. So in here we have several conversions. Now, there's some conversions here that we don't use anymore, such as, like, I haven't updated this list. This was from February 27, 2020. This is when I started this document. But the main ones that you guys need to know for sure are the ones that are highlighted. Those are primarily the main ones. But yeah, those are the ones that you're always going to be looking at. So the highlighted ones are the most important ones. And the way that I did it was the following. Oh, there's also more in here. So you can like take a screenshot of it or write it somewhere. But yeah, actually this one should not be going here. Now, how did I do it? So pretty much your system of doing this is that you're going to be writing them. For instance, let's just say you have 12. Okay, so I'm going to explain what this is later on. Let's just say you have 12 conversions that you need to go into. I'm going to put this a little bit bigger. 12 conversions. All right. 12 conversions. Let's just say like 1 ounce is 30 mLs. And so on. Okay, let's just say there's 12 different conversions of this. What I do is that I do 2 per day. So that's what I did. So on day 1, I will be going over ounces to mLs. So I would just put it like that, ounces to ml. I wouldn't put the conversions of each. I would have it in a separate document or a separate sheet of paper. And in there, I would go into, I don't know if I have it exactly here. Let's see. I think it's here. Yeah, that's better. So the other one that I show you right now, let me just put it right next to each other. So this one would have the answers, right? Like the actual conversions. But on the right, I just wrote the conversions of them, like, oh, inches to centimeters, like you see here. But as you can see, I did not write the conversions of it. I didn't put that 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters or things like that. It's just a pure conversion, because what I'm going to be doing is that I'm just going to be doing problems. So let's just say it's day 1, right? So there's 12 of them that you need to memorize. So I would just fake 2 problems or just invent them. And I would go from grams to grains and from pounds to grams. Um, but yeah, that was when I had to learn it. Obviously, now in 2021, this is, where are we? It's February 2021. There's some of them that are not required for us to know anymore. So a lot of these I already memorized. Well, I don't want to say worthless, but I'm not going to be using them for now. So they're just there in my brain. But the concept is still there. The whole concept is that you're going to be doing your conversions. You're going to be doing you're going to be faking the values. Okay. The whole point is that you're practicing. You're just going to do the values. I would do 2 problems for each. So I would write, for instance, 15 grams to grains, and then I would change it to 5 grams per grains, because the dimensional analysis is still going to be the same. It's still the same concept, but you're just memorizing what you're getting used to is this part, the conversion of this, that 1 gram is 15 grains. That's what you're assimilating into. And that's it. You're just doing 2 problems per day. And after you're done with your problems, you'll look at your answer sheet, which is like the conversion factor, which is the one that I have on the left, and you verify if the conversion that you did was correct or not. So in this case, the 1 gram is 15 grains. It's right here. It's the second one. So it's correct. I did do it. And then I will look to the one in the bottom, the one that I did about pounds to grams. So 54 pounds into grams is the same as well, I just erased the answer because well, I think the whole point that I was doing here is just knowing if I knew how to set it up, not really the answer. Because like answering it, I personally do not have a problem with multiplication or division. So I felt I was just wasting time there. The only thing that I really needed to work on was the conversion factor itself. So that way I reduced the time that I was studying because let's just say I did number one. Okay, let's just say I did actually do all the math and everything. I'm wasting like 5 or 10 seconds on multiplication that I already know. Obviously, if you are not confident with multiplication or big number multiplication, like I don't know, 120 times 5 or 15 or whatever, if you're not confident with that, then obviously do the work so you can practice it and then double check it with the calculator to make sure you did get the right answer. But in my case, I was like, I the only problem I have is the conversion itself. So I'm just gonna practice the conversion and that's it. So when I was doing the grams to grains, I checked my work and it was right. And then from pounds to grams, I checked the work and it was right, which is the first one here, the the number one. Uh, so then I saw like, okay, I was correct. So then I will put a little check mark on it and go from there. So that was day one. And then on day two, I'm gonna put here day one. And then on day two, I will go with uh, two different conversions now. So I will go with grams to mLs and inches to centimeters. And then I would just like fake the values. I would just put random values and do the actual dimensional analysis to make sure that was correct. And then I will double check my work here on my answer sheet and make sure if I'm doing it right. Obviously, for the 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Um, my school changed it to 2.5, so now it's like now it's 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters because I remember I was taught 2.54. I guess like be more precise, but a 2.5, I mean it's the same, it really doesn't matter. um, that's better for students. They don't need to memorize the four. They don't need to memorize 2.54. You can just memorize 2.5, which is way easier. But in my case, again, this is very 2020. I was doing here the conversions, and I would also do some of the problems that I did yesterday. So then I would fake some new problems here. So I would change the values. Instead of 5, I would just put, I don't know, 9, and I'll put 15. And I'll do these conversions and make sure that I still remember them. So I'm still practicing on them. So that'll be day two. Now, how do I keep track of how I'm doing per day? Well, at the very bottom here, I do have my active recall. Active recall means recalling the information from your brain. So remembering the conversions, like the 15 grams is 15, I mean, 1 gram is 15 grains. That's active recall. You're like actively retrieving the information. So what I would do is that let's just say it's today's date. Let's just say I'm going to do it with a different color. I'm going to do it with pink. So active recall, you can also abbreviate this by AR. It's the same thing. It's active recall. You'll put the date. Very important, the date. So I would put February 24, and I would put how many problems did I work on, like the actual conversions. So I did day two. I did 4. I did the grams to grains, pounds to grams, grams to mLs, and inches to centimeters. Right, the first 4. So I will write out of 4, and then I would write how many I got right. So if I got all of them right, then I will put 4 out of 4. If I got one wrong, then I'll put 3 out of 4. If I got two wrong, 2 out of 4. And if I got one wrong out of 4, and if I missed all of them, then 0 out of 4. Really be honest with this. Okay. Do not fake it. You're the only one who's going to be looking at this, and you're going to be looking at the progress. And you're going to be doing that every day. For me, I'm just going to move it to this page. Um, as you can see, well, let me just erase this. As you can see, I started with 14, like out of 14, and then out of 16, and then out of 16, 16, and then we went out of 20, 20, and then 22 out of 22, And I think that's it. Oh, and every time I did get a question wrong, like for this case, I got this one wrong, right? I got two wrong. I would put the ones that I got wrong, the conversions that I got wrong. So I didn't remember the 1 gram is 4 mLs. You need to know that anymore for nursing. And then I also forgot the 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms. I think I put like 1 milligram is 100 micrograms and it's 1,000. So I got it wrong. So every time you get a problem wrong, on the bottom of your active recall thing, write it out, write what you got wrong. So next time you remember. And since you got it wrong, it's going to retain more into your head. You're like, oh, how did I forget? I think for the 1 gram, 4 mLs, I think I think I put it backwards. I think I put like 4 grams is 1 ml, something like that. And no, it's 1 ml is 4 grams. Um, but I would just write the actual conversion. Like a 1 gram is 4 ml, and 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms, and that's it. That's how I went, and as you can see, the dates were pretty consistent. Like in March, like the 6, the 7, the 9, the 11. Do not do it every day. That's a thing. I had like I don't know, like 3 months to practice this, and I was doing like some other stuff. I was being a tutor for physiology and microbiology, so I was really not like just there in my room, just not doing anything. And this was pre-COVID, so I had to actually go to the college and attend the lectures that I was a tutor from. So yeah, this was like a side thing that I was doing. But if you have like a month left, you can do it every day. Every day, you're gonna do two more, two more, two more, two more, and as you're doing two more every day, you're escalating it. And do not be afraid of getting them wrong. The whole point is learning, and it's just about consistency in a way. You can see here in March, since I had like a big gap to memorize this, I said like, you know what? There's gonna be some days that I'm gonna have like 2 days of not doing anything to see if I can recall the information after 2 days. Um, so as you can see here, like I went from March all the way to April, from March 24th to April 6th. And then from April 6th, since I got 15 out of 16, I was like, I'm going to do it on the 23 now, with like more days of gap. And I got 15 out of 16, which was the same score. And there, I don't think on those times I wrote the ones I got wrong. I think those began to occur more in May. In May, that's where I started doing the whole write out the ones that you got wrong so you can remember them for the future. So from the 23, then I went to the 28 and I incorporated, and I actually got a perfect score. Then on May 1, I did it again and I incorporated four more, and I only missed one. And that's where I began to write down the ones I missed wrong. And then, yeah, I would do it on the 3rd, on the 11th, on the 16th, on the 23, and I added two more. And then on the 19th of June, which was I think the week before my orientation meeting for nursing, I did it again and I got a 20 out of 22. And this was the ones I got wrong. And since for me, I felt like it was some silly mistakes. Like after I wrote it down, I'm like, okay, I'm never gonna forget this ever again. So I didn't feel I needed to do another type of conversion exams thingy to test my knowledge because I felt really confident in them. Uh, so yeah, that this was for me because I had like from February all the way to June to practice, and these really stayed into my head. They actually they actually helped a lot. The ones I personally see a lot in nursing, I'm gonna be erasing a lot of these things so it doesn't like weird you out. I'm gonna show you the ones that I see a lot in nursing, so you can really expect them. Um, but yeah, and I guess it sounds pretty cliche, right? Like consistency, consistency. But in reality, there's a cool quote that I read in a book. That's just like most of life advice is hidden behind the words, the cliche phrases. So I mean, it's pretty true. But and the whole point that I was doing like this type of slow was because I didn't want to. I want to say like I didn't want to bore myself into this. I didn't want to procrastinate a lot. So I did like very little work per day. Like you see, like two conversions a day. It's like it's not that bad. Um, and yeah, just make the task at the beginning very very simple so you really do not procrastinate. It's like in order for your brain not to be like, come on, I don't want to do it, it's like you only have to do one or two conversions. Like, come on, you can really motivate yourself, like, come on, we at least need to do one. And once you're there in your desk like actually doing the conversions, then you might probably do one more, and so on. Keep the wheel rolling. So the ones that I see a lot in nursing. Oh, and by the way, I did pass my math exam, and all the people in my group passed it. So I was like, hey, respect. Um, so the ones that I did see a lot that you're gonna see 100%, like always, is this, 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 this. Yes, later on. This, yes, definitely this. This, yes, yes. Although this is like a really, not really a conversion. It's the same thing, but this, yes, and that's it. Everything else, I haven't really seen it at all. Um, the 1 gram is 1 ml. I have never done any math problem that asked me to like do that, use that conversion at all. Like nothing at all. Um, but yeah, the ones that I check mark were the ones that you're actually going to be using like almost always. So how many are there? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's 13. So now you have the 13 conversions that you're always going to be tested on. So you can write your conversions on a brand new page or notebook if you're using a notebook. Write the conversions of the 13 and then do 2 per day and use the active recall that I showed you here to monitor yourself to see how you're doing. If it really helps you, you can obviously use the playlist that I have incorporated to you guys, the study together playlist. So you kind of like get into the zone of studying. And if you're not used to studying, buy a studying lamp. I have one right here. I always have it turned on whenever I'm doing something productive or work related. So, and have kind of like a beverage that really helps you get into the study mood. So right now I have, this is green tea. Yeah, I forgot what this was. And yeah, so that's my studying drink. My lamp is turned on. I have my Let's Study Together playlist here. And obviously, well, my iPad, which is the one where I have everything regarding work. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, it's just about consistency and just being confident about yourself. Because on the actual program, they're not going to tell you, okay, give me that. They're not going to tell you like, okay, so convert the ounces to mls, noting that 30 mls is 1 ounce. Like they're not going to put that at all. They're just going to give you like a little scenario, and they're going to tell you like, oh, we need to give um 8 ounces to the patient. How many mls is that? So you're going to be like, okay, well, 8 ounces is like 1 ounce is 30 mls. So you're going to do conversions. It's like, oh, it's 240 mls. um, that's not probably going to be the only thing they're going to ask you. They're probably going to ask you for more little conversions in a problem, but it's the same concept. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, it's not that bad. And if you do have a deadline, then use these 12 or 13. I think those were 13. The 13 conversions you need to know and space it out for like, I don't know, if you have a month, you can literally do like one or two a day, honestly. Like do one day yes, one day no, one day yes, one day no. In that day of break, we want our mind to recall it on the following day. We want that to occur. We don't want to be studying every single day the same thing because we're not letting our brain recall it later on. I don't know if the more time you lapse when you're trying to recall something, the better it's going to consolidate into your brain. So whenever I'm trying to memorize something, I do like one day yes, one day no, and then one day yes. And on that gap day, I'm trying to recall the information. Um, let's just say I don't want to confuse you guys. So if you learn something on Monday, don't recall it on Tuesday. Recall it on Wednesday. Give it a day gap, and then after you recall it on Wednesday, you're probably gonna know half of it, and then recall it on Thursday, and then recall it on Saturday. Like, if you do really bad, then yes, study the following day the same thing, and then do another day gap, and then uh, recall it again. And if you're able to recall it better, then you can give yourself 2 days of gap, 2 days of break, and then the following day ask yourself. And that way, like that's how you really memorize stuff. That's how you really incorporate it into your brain. And yeah, it's not that bad. But and I can then do like a video about like how to avoid procrastination or how to scare yourself with procrastination. Like I just scare myself to death when if I want to procrastinate. I'm like, Hoyle, like you're gonna be so tired, you're gonna be so stressed just because you don't want to work today. And it's like, so I kind of like have the mentality of how I'm gonna feel if I do not work the following day, like how I'm gonna be all stressed and all tired and moody. And I'm like, fine, like I'm gonna do today, so that way I don't have a lot of work to do the following day. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you stay here until the end of the video, I appreciate you for staying here, and please follow it and have an agenda. Also have an agenda. I have mine right here, and always write down what you're gonna do in your day, and then put like a check mark on anything you on everything you have done so far, so you can visualize and see how much you're getting done in a day. And if you see that you have a lot of things to do and you really don't do anything, then there's something you need to change. But that way you can visualize it and see your results and how you're going. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much, everyone, for staying here. And please let me know any type of recommendations you guys might have for studying, so I can also incorporate it and we can both grow together. All right, guys. So I'll see you guys into the next video. Bye bye.